What are safety signals and how are they a mind over pain technique? Safety signals are any way you can communicate to your brain that it is safe. Now, why is this important? Because one of the jobs pain does is to signal danger to the brain. I don't know if you've heard of a concept called threat learning. This is what ScienceDirect.com has to say about threat learning. It says, the ability to detect and avoid potential threats is an essential behavioral component of survival across species. So threat learning is basically saying, I think the environment has danger in it. I have learned that from my past experience. So we're going to do everything we can to avoid that. But the brain can often get it wrong. And I say that it can be like a paranoid detective. And this is what happened to me after my first hip replacement. And I was terrified of moving. I had a lot of pain and my brain was definitely in that survival mode and that threat learning mode. But everything I've learned about pain during the last few months, going through 2 hip replacements, has made me fascinated to know how can our mind control our pain. And so this is why I've set up the Pain Relief Project. And safety signals, it's my best guess at the moment as to a really practical toolkit that anyone can use to turn the dial down on pain. First of all, we've got our first level, which is the least interesting, I think, because you will have tried these and they may well be inadequate. So these are your basic relaxation techniques. The logic here is that if we can be relaxed, then the brain goes, we can't be in any danger because we're able to relax. And so I'm talking about things like yoga, like massage, and your traditional relaxation techniques. I'm less interested in these because everyone else has spoken about them, but also I don't think that they're powerful enough. And the things which work for me and the things that I've used in my health coaching around emotional issues, because there's a lot of people with emotional issues who don't feel safe fundamentally. Those things were the things that made the difference for me, turning the dial down on my own pain following my surgeries. So let's talk about some other ones. What I'm going to do for these is I'm going to talk in a little bit of detail about one of them, and then I'm just going to show you some other ones because I want you to get curious about this. The first thing I want to talk about here is self-talk and low commitment. How you talk to yourself about your pain can affect the pain. So if you say, it hurts so much, what I'm going to do, you're giving your brain instruction that it's really dangerous and it better watch out and stay alert, stay tense. So you need to say something more helpful. I can manage this. But also this other component here of low commitment I found is really helpful. So if you're feeling nervous about being able to walk for a certain distance, which I certainly have been through that in the last few months, instead of saying, I'm going to do a half an hour walk today, when that was way beyond what I could do, I just brought the commitment down to something much, much easier that I could get an easy win with. And then it's like a staircase. I've done this, and then tomorrow I can do that, and then that. So that's one example of the safety signal you give to your brain. So I'm just going to run through the others quickly because I just want to give you a feel for these. Open the brain's feel-good factory. Okay, we all have a feel-good factory in there. And if the brain is feeling good, then it says, do you know what? There isn't any threat. You can open your feel-good factory. You just need to know how. Another thing I call safety logic. Rebelling against the paranoid detective. So in another video, and I'll link to it underneath here, I talk about the brain as a paranoid detective. It's like, I'm detecting danger everywhere. I must look, I must find it. It's paranoid. And you can rebel against that line of thinking in ways that are actually quite fun. A shift in your mindset from victim to adventurer. A lot to say about that. Something I've developed called super visualization. So you'll have probably heard about visualization for pain relief, and it's great. but it's not as great as super visualization. Boosting oxytocin, and finally something I call anti-chromatainment. I haven't got time in this video to talk about what all of those are, but I just wanted to give you a taster. Now, if you are interested in finding out more about what these actually are and putting your mind to work to manage your pain in a way that is very safe, doesn't require any medical intervention, then at the moment I am looking for road testers. It's completely free to get going. There is plenty of free resources if you're willing to give me honest feedback. So just go to the link that's come up on screen and you can get started. Thanks for watching. I've been Harriet Morris, and this is the Pain Relief Project.